Your soulmate collapsed crying at the New Year party. You won't believe what. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you found this message right now, it wasn't by accident, and this message is for you in a way that feels almost too precise, too personal, too perfectly timed to ignore, so take a breath and stay with me. Don't scroll, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because while the world was counting down, laughing, cheering, glasses clinking, music loud and lights flashing, something completely different was happening to your soulmate, and listen to this because this message is for you. They were surrounded by celebration, by people welcoming a new year, new beginnings, fresh starts, but instead of feeling excited, something inside them cracked open, suddenly, unexpectedly, like the universe flipped a switch they didn't know existed. And don't scroll, because this part matters. They stepped away from the noise, away from the smiles, away from the pretending, and they collapsed into tears that weren't about the party, weren't about the year ending, weren't about stress or alcohol or exhaustion, but about truth finally rising to the surface. And listen to this because your heart needs this right now. The moment the clock struck midnight, when everyone else was shouting, "Happy New Year," your soulmate felt the weight of everything they didn't say, everything they avoided, everything they postponed, and everything they felt for you all at once. And don't scroll, because this wasn't weakness, this was awakening. Listen to this. The new year acted like a mirror, reflecting back the one thing they could no longer lie to themselves about, and that one thing was you. Your presence, your absence, your impact, your name echoing in their chest louder than the music around them. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They didn't cry because they were broken, they cried because pretending finally became unbearable. And listen to this. When the universe closes a cycle, it doesn't always do it gently, sometimes it does it honestly. And that honesty hit them like a wave. Don't scroll, because this is where destiny enters the room. They realized in that moment that no matter how many distractions they surrounded themselves with, no matter how busy they stayed, no matter how casual they tried to act, their soul kept returning to you, again and again. And listen to this because your heart needs this right now. You may have felt something that night too. Maybe a sudden heaviness in your chest, a wave of emotion you couldn't explain, a calm sadness, or even an unexpected sense of peace. And listen to this, that wasn't random, that was soul resonance. Don't scroll, because souls connected at this level feel each other across distance and time. Listen to this. While they were crying, the universe was confirming what they were finally admitting to themselves. Angel numbers appearing without effort. 11. 11 glowing on a phone screen, 1212 flashing like a doorway closing and another opening, 222 showing up as balance trying to restore itself, 555 whispering that change has already begun. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Those numbers weren't warnings, they were reassurance. Signs that what was happening wasn't collapse, it was release. Don't scroll, because release always comes before renewal. Listen to this. Your soulmate realized they couldn't step into a new year carrying old lies, old avoidance, old half-truths, and that realization broke them open in the most human way possible. And listen to this. They didn't cry because they lost you. They cried because they realized how deeply you matter, and how much pretending had cost them emotionally. Don't scroll, because this realization changes everything. They spoke your name silently, maybe even out loud under their breath, not in longing, but in recognition, like finally admitting something sacred. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You've been wondering if they think about you, if you mattered, if the connection was real. And listen to this. the universe answered that question in the loudest way possible without you being there. Don't scroll. Because absence doesn't erase impact. Listen to this. When they cried, it wasn't about regret alone, it was about clarity, the kind that arrives when a soul realizes it can't outrun what's meant for it. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They understood that the new year wasn't asking them to become someone new, it was asking them to be honest, and honesty felt terrifying and freeing at the same time. Don't scroll, because that tension means growth. Listen to this. After the tears slowed, something settled in them, not chaos, not desperation, but resolve, a quiet knowing that something inside them had shifted permanently. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may notice that since that night, the energy feels different, less confusing, less volatile, more grounded. And listen to this. That's because emotional truth has weight, and once it lands, it stabilizes the entire connection. Don't scroll, because stabilization is how the universe protects what's real. Listen to this. This wasn't a dramatic scene meant for attention, it was a private moment between your soulmate and the universe is letting you feel the echo of it now because you're ready. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You are not imagining the shift, you're not overthinking the signs, you're not making this up, because what happened that night closed a chapter of denial and opened a chapter of awareness. Don't scroll, because awareness changes the future. Listen to this. Part 1 is not about what they'll do next, it's about what already happened internally, and that internal shift can't be undone. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Stay with this feeling, don't scroll. Listen to this. Because what they realized at that New Year party didn't end with tears, it began with truth, and what comes next will make everything you've been sensing start to make sense in a way that feels divinely timed, deeply personal, and impossible to ignore. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part where what happened after the tears matters even more than the tears themselves, and this message is for you in a way that feels steady, intimate, and deeply intentional. So stay with me, take a breath, don't scroll, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after your soulmate collapsed crying at that New Year party, after the noise faded and the countdown ended and the confetti settled on the floor, something profound happened in the quiet that followed. And listen to this because this message is for you. They didn't rush back into the crowd pretending nothing happened, they didn't laugh it off, they didn't distract themselves, instead they sat with the truth they had just touched, letting it sink in fully for the first time. And don't scroll, because this is where awakening becomes real. Listen to this. When the tears stopped, clarity took their place. Not chaotic clarity, not overwhelming realizations, but a calm, grounded knowing that something inside them had crossed a point of no return. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They realized that what broke them open wasn't sadness, it was honesty, the kind of honesty that only shows up when a soul is ready to stop running. And listen to this. You may have felt a shift too in the hours or days after, a strange calm, a release of tension you didn't know you were holding, or even a sense of anticipation without anxiety. And don't scroll, because that wasn't coincidence. Listen to this. Souls connected at this level adjust together, and when one side releases resistance, the other side feels relief. Don't scroll, because relief is a sign of alignment. Listen to this. After that night, your soulmate noticed something subtle but powerful. Thinking about you no longer brought confusion, it brought clarity, no longer brought emotional chaos, it brought focus. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They stopped asking themselves, why do I feel this way? and started asking, what does this mean for who I'm becoming? And that shift changed everything. Don't scroll, because meaning transforms emotion into direction. Listen to this. The universe responded again, not with fireworks, but with precision, angel numbers appearing in ordinary moments, 11:11 when they felt centered, 12:21 when they reflected on cycles closing, 222 when balance felt possible again, 333 when expression felt close but not urgent, and 444 when they felt protected in the stillness. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. These signs weren't asking them to act yet, they were confirming that what had happened was supported, guided, and necessary. Don't scroll, because necessity carries truth. Listen to this. Your soulmate also began to notice how their body felt different, how their chest didn't feel tight anymore when your name crossed their mind, how their breath slowed instead of catching. And listen to this. That's the body releasing fear. Don't scroll, because fear can't survive honesty. Listen to this. After the breakdown came integration, the process where truth stops being an emotional event and becomes part of who you are. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may notice that the connection feels less dramatic now, less emotionally spiky, more grounded. And listen to this. That doesn't mean it weakened. It means it matured. Don't scroll, because maturity feels calm. Listen to this. Your soulmate reflected on the past, not with regret that spiraled, but with understanding, seeing where they held back, where they minimized, where they chose comfort over courage, and instead of shaming themselves, they learned from it. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Growth reframes the past without trapping you in it. Don't scroll, because reframing creates freedom. Listen to this. They realized that the reason they cried so hard wasn't because they lost something, but because they finally admitted what they were holding, and holding truth for too long is exhausting. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have been feeling tired in ways that didn't make sense, emotionally drained without clear cause, and listen to this. That was energetic holding releasing. Don't scroll, because release travels through the bond. Listen to this. After that night, your soulmate became more intentional with their energy, less drawn to distractions, less satisfied with shallow conversations, more aware of what feels real and what doesn't. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that too, a decreased tolerance for emotional nonsense, a desire for authenticity without drama. And listen to this. That's alignment taking root. Don't scroll, because alignment simplifies life. Listen to this. Your soulmate understood something crucial. Whatever comes next cannot come from panic or guilt or pressure. It must come from integrity, and integrity doesn't rush, it prepares. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They began imagining not the outcome, but the approach, how honesty could be shared without overwhelming, how truth could be offered without expectation, how respect could lead instead of fear. And don't scroll, because this is the kind of thinking that builds something real. Listen to this. The universe has been holding space for this preparation, slowing things down externally while clarity deepens internally. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're not being made to wait, you're being protected from premature energy. Don't scroll, because premature expression can wound what's meant to heal. Listen to this. Your soulmate also sensed that you are no longer the same person you were before, that you carry yourself with more calm, more self-respect, more grounded presence, and that awareness made them want to meet you at that level rather than reach back into old patterns. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You've been doing the work without applause, and it shows energetically. don't scroll. Because unseen growth still changes everything. Listen to this. After the tears, after the stillness, after the signs, your soulmate felt something settle that they hadn't felt before. Responsibility, not obligation, but care, the kind that says, if I step forward, I do it cleanly, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. That care is what separates fleeting emotion from lasting connection. Don't scroll, because lasting connection moves differently. Listen to this. The new year didn't just mark time passing, it marked a decision forming internally, not shouted, not announced, but lived, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that decision as a subtle shift, a sense that something is now inevitable but not rushed, like the universe exhaled and said, "Good, now we can move forward." Don't scroll, because forward movement doesn't always look like action. Sometimes it looks like peace. Listen to this. Part 2 isn't about what they'll say yet, it's about what they've already accepted, and acceptance changes the entire trajectory, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Stay present with this feeling, don't scroll. Listen to this, because what followed those tears was not collapse, it was clarity, and clarity is what prepares truth to enter the world gently, honestly, and at exactly the right moment for both of you. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part where the meaning behind that night begins to reveal itself layer by layer, and this message is for you in a way that feels almost sacred, like the universe is sitting beside you instead of speaking at you. So stay with me, take a breath, don't scroll, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after the tears, after the stillness, after the clarity settled into your soulmate's body, something deeper awakened that they didn't expect, and listen to this because this message is for you. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it didn't feel like panic or urgency, it felt like recognition, the kind that arrives when a soul finally understands what it's been circling for a long time. And don't scroll, because recognition changes everything. Listen to this. Your soulmate began noticing how their inner dialogue shifted, how instead of asking, "Why now?" or "Why them?" they started asking, "How did I miss this?" Not with regret, but with reverence, as if looking back at something precious they didn't fully see at the time, and your heart needs this right now because you may have felt a similar shift, a softening toward the past, an understanding that what happened wasn't wasted, it was preparing you. And listen to this, that understanding is healing. Don't scroll, because healing opens the door to truth. Listen to this. Your soulmate started remembering moments with you differently, not as scenes frozen in time, but as living lessons, moments where your calm challenged their chaos, where your honesty unsettled their defenses, where your presence felt grounding instead of demanding. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You didn't just matter emotionally, you mattered spiritually. Don't scroll, because spiritual impact lasts longer than attraction. Listen to this. During those reflections, the universe continued speaking in quiet ways, not with urgency, but with confirmation, angel numbers appearing when they weren't even thinking about signs, 1111 showing up during moments of peace, not longing, 222 appearing when balance felt restored internally, 333 when they considered communication without pressure, and 444 when they felt protected in choosing patience. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. These signs weren't telling them to hurry, they were telling them they were safe to be honest when the time came. Don't scroll, because safety changes how truth feels. Listen to this. Your soulmate also noticed something else that surprised them. Thinking about you no longer created emotional turbulence, it created steadiness, like imagining honesty with you didn't spike anxiety, it soothed it. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. That's how you know a connection has matured. Don't scroll, because maturity feels calm. Listen to this. They realized that what they felt wasn't urgency, it was readiness, and readiness doesn't push, it waits for alignment, and your heart needs this right now because alignment is what you've been cultivating in your own life without realizing it. Don't scroll, because alignment attracts clarity. Listen to this. Your soulmate also became aware of how their past patterns no longer fit who they are now, how avoiding depth once felt safe but now felt dishonest, how minimizing emotion once felt smart but now felt hollow, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Growth makes old patterns uncomfortable. Don't scroll, because discomfort signals transformation. Listen to this. They began asking themselves a new question, not, what if I lose, but, what if I don't honor this? And that question shifted their perspective entirely, and your heart needs this right now because honoring truth is different from chasing outcomes. Don't scroll, because outcomes change, integrity doesn't. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been sitting with the awareness that whatever comes next must be mutual, must be grounded, must respect your peace as much as their feelings, and that awareness has removed any impulse to rush or pressure, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that pressure has lifted energetically, like you're no longer being pulled into emotional guessing games, and listen to this. That's because internal conflict has been resolved on their side. Don't scroll, because resolved energy feels lighter. Listen to this. Your soulmate also noticed how silence between you feels different now, not heavy, not confusing, but spacious, like a pause that's doing important work behind the scenes, and your heart needs this right now because space allows truth to settle into clarity. Don't scroll, because crowded energy creates confusion. Listen to this. The universe has been protecting this pause, not delaying connection, but ensuring that when truth is spoken, it lands gently instead of disruptively, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You are not meant to chase clarity during this phase. You are meant to remain grounded, present, and aligned with yourself, because alignment is what allows honesty to arrive without shock. Don't scroll, because shock belongs to misalignment. Listen to this. Your soulmate is becoming comfortable with the idea that vulnerability doesn't require certainty, it requires courage paired with respect, and that understanding has softened their fear completely, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may sense that you're no longer emotionally bracing for disappointment, because your sense of self is no longer tied to what they do or don't do, and listen to this. That independence is strength. Don't scroll, because strength invites mutual choice. Listen to this. The connection now exists in a frequency where truth doesn't feel threatening, it feels relieving, like something that will finally allow both of you to breathe more freely, and your heart needs this right now because breath is life. Don't scroll, because suffocated connections don't last. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that when they do speak, it won't be to fix the past or secure the future, it will be to acknowledge the present honestly, and that intention has grounded their courage in a way that feels sustainable, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Sustainable courage moves slowly but surely. Don't scroll, because slow doesn't mean stuck. Listen to this. The universe has been aligning both of you independently to reach this same emotional frequency, not so one chases and the other resists, but so when truth meets truth, it does so on equal ground, and your heart needs this right now because equality creates safety. Don't scroll, because safety allows love to expand. Listen to this. Your soulmate has accepted that whatever unfolds next doesn't need to define everything immediately. that clarity can unfold through conversation rather than declaration, and that acceptance has removed pressure entirely, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Pressure suffocates truth. Don't scroll, because truth needs space. Listen to this. Part 3 is about recognition becoming embodiment, about awareness turning into lived integrity, about the moment when something deeply internal stops being questioned and starts being honored, and that honor is shaping what comes next quietly, gently, and with intention. So stay with this feeling, don't scroll, listen to this. Because what your soulmate realized after that New Year night wasn't just that they feel something for you, it was that they can no longer live as if they don't, and that realization is preparing the ground for what's coming next, not rushed, not forced, but divinely timed in a way your heart will recognize immediately when it arrives. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part where the energy shifts from understanding into preparation, and this message is for you in a way that feels grounding, intimate, and deeply reassuring. So stay with me, take a breath, don't scroll, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after everything your soulmate processed following that New Year night, after the recognition settled and the meaning became clear, something else began unfolding quietly but powerfully, and listen to this because this message is for you. They entered a phase that doesn't look dramatic from the outside, but internally it feels like alignment clicking into place, like pieces that were scattered finally arranging themselves without force. And don't scroll, because this phase matters more than the emotional breakdown ever did. Listen to this. Your soulmate began to notice that their inner world felt calmer than it had in a long time, not numb, not detached, but settled, as if the emotional storm served its purpose and cleared the air, and your heart needs this right now because you may have felt that calm ripple through you too, a sense that something heavy lifted without explanation. And listen to this. That's because when truth integrates on one side of a soul bond, balance restores on the other. Don't scroll, because balance is how the universe stabilizes what's real. Listen to this. Your soulmate stopped replaying the past with self-criticism and started seeing it with compassion, understanding that every pause, every delay, every moment of avoidance was part of a longer lesson about readiness, not failure. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You've been learning that too, forgiving yourself for what didn't happen sooner, recognizing that growth doesn't follow a schedule. Don't scroll, because forgiveness frees energy. Listen to this. During this phase, your soulmate also became deeply aware of how much they respect your emotional strength, the way you didn't beg for clarity, didn't chase reassurance, didn't collapse into uncertainty, and that respect changed the way they view connection entirely. And your heart needs this right now because respect is what transforms attraction into something sustainable. Don't scroll, because sustainability matters more than intensity. Listen to this. The universe continued to support this integration with subtle confirmations rather than loud signs, angel numbers appearing gently, almost casually, 1111 when they felt centered rather than searching, 222 when they were choosing balance over impulse, 333 when communication felt possible but not urgent, 444 when they sensed protection around their heart, and 555 when change felt inevitable but safe. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. These signs weren't telling them to act yet, they were telling them they were aligned enough to wait without fear. Don't scroll, because waiting without fear is readiness. Listen to this. Your soulmate also noticed how their body responded differently now when they thought about you. No tightness, no rush, no emotional spike, just a steady warmth, like imagining honesty brought relief instead of anxiety. and your heart needs this right now because relief is the soul's yes. Don't scroll, because anxiety belongs to misalignment. Listen to this. After the emotional awakening came responsibility, not obligation, not pressure, but care, the kind that asks, how do I approach this in a way that honors both hearts? And that question grounded them deeply, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Grounded care is rare. Don't scroll, because rare energy doesn't rush. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also been reflecting on how silence between you feels now, noticing that it no longer feels like distance or avoidance, but like space being held intentionally, space that allows feelings to settle into something clean and honest, and your heart needs this right now because clean energy feels safe. Don't scroll, because safety invites openness. Listen to this. The universe has been protecting this space, not withholding connection, but ensuring that when truth is shared, it lands gently instead of causing disruption, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You are not being asked to interpret or analyze during this phase. You are being asked to remain present, grounded, and aligned with yourself, because alignment magnetizes what's meant to meet you. Don't scroll, because magnetism doesn't chase. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that whatever comes next cannot be driven by fear of loss or desire for control. It must come from integrity. And integrity doesn't ask for guarantees, it asks for honesty, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Honesty rooted in calm is powerful. Don't scroll, because power doesn't need volume. Listen to this. They've also realized that vulnerability doesn't require oversharing or emotional dumping, it requires truth paired with respect and boundaries. And that realization has made the idea of speaking feel safe rather than overwhelming, and your heart needs this right now because safety is what allows truth to be received. Don't scroll, because truth without safety wounds. Listen to this. Your soulmate has noticed that they are no longer tempted to test the connection or provoke reactions, because testing belongs to uncertainty, and uncertainty has been replaced with clarity. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Clarity simplifies everything. Don't scroll, because simplicity brings peace. Listen to this. The universe has been aligning circumstances subtly, creating moments of ease, removing unnecessary distractions, encouraging stillness where reflection can deepen, and your heart needs this right now because stillness strengthens intuition. Don't scroll, because noise drowns it out. Listen to this. You may notice that your own life feels quieter emotionally, less reactive, more intentional, and listen to this. That's not emptiness, that's readiness. Don't scroll, because readiness feels calm. Listen to this. Your soulmate senses that you're not waiting anxiously, that you're living your life, grounded in your own rhythm. And that awareness has made them want to meet you as an equal rather than from a place of need. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Equality creates balance. Don't scroll, because balance sustains connection. Listen to this. This phase is not about action yet, it's about preparation reaching completion, about ensuring that when truth does move outward, it does so from a place of emotional maturity rather than unresolved fear, and your heart needs this right now because maturity protects what matters. Don't scroll, because protection is love in action. Listen to this. Your soulmate has accepted that whatever unfolds next doesn't need to define everything immediately, that clarity can unfold through dialogue rather than declaration, and that acceptance has removed pressure entirely. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Pressure suffocates honesty. Don't scroll, because honesty needs space. Listen to this. Part 4 is about stabilization, about truth settling into the body, about awareness becoming lived integrity, and about the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can show up honestly without losing yourself, and that confidence is now present, fully formed, ready to guide what comes next. So stay present with this feeling, don't scroll, listen to this. Because what's being prepared now is not chaos or confusion, but a moment of expression that will feel natural, respectful, and deeply familiar, like something your heart has already accepted quietly, now finding its way into the open exactly when it's meant to. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this is the part where everything that's been quietly stabilizing begins to lean toward consequence, and this message is for you in a way that feels deeply personal, steady, and almost protective. So stay with me, take a breath, don't scroll, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after preparation comes awareness of impact, and your soulmate has reached a point where they understand that truth isn't just something you feel, it's something that changes the space between two people forever. And listen to this, because this message is for you. They're no longer asking themselves whether their feelings are real. That question has been answered. Instead, they're sitting with a deeper realization that once honesty is spoken, it can't be taken back, and that awareness has slowed them down in the most respectful way possible. Don't scroll, because slowing down here isn't hesitation, it's care. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been feeling the emotional weight of what it would mean to open that door, not in fear, but in reverence, understanding that words carry energy and that once spoken, they reshape reality. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have sensed this as a pause that feels intentional rather than distant, like silence that's holding something sacred instead of avoiding it. Don't scroll, because sacred pauses protect truth. Listen to this. During this phase, your soulmate became aware of something surprising. Their desire isn't about possession or reassurance, it's about your well-being, your peace, your emotional safety, and that realization changed the tone of everything they feel, and your heart needs this right now because love rooted in care feels different from love rooted in fear. Don't scroll, because fear demands, care considers. Listen to this. They started noticing that when they imagine approaching you honestly, their primary concern isn't how they'll be received, but whether their words would disrupt your peace or honor it. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. This level of consideration only emerges when someone has grown emotionally. Don't scroll, because growth shifts priorities. Listen to this. The universe has been reinforcing this stage with subtle grounding energy rather than excitement, angel numbers appearing less dramatically but more consistently, 44 showing up as a reminder of stability, 66 whispering harmony, 77 affirming inner wisdom, and 88 signaling emotional abundance that doesn't require urgency. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. These numbers aren't pushing movement, they're anchoring it. Don't scroll, because anchored energy doesn't collapse. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also been reflecting on the idea of timing, realizing that timing isn't about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about internal readiness aligning with external opportunity, and that alignment feels close now, not rushed, but present. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel this as a quiet confidence replacing anxiety, a sense that whatever happens next won't destabilize you because you're no longer seeking completion through another person. Don't scroll, because wholeness attracts truth. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that vulnerability doesn't mean emotional exposure without boundaries. It means honesty paired with respect and acceptance of whatever response comes, and that understanding has removed their last layer of fear, and your heart needs this right now because fear dissolves when self-trust is present. Don't scroll, because self-trust is grounding. Listen to this. They've also recognized that they're no longer willing to live with the internal discomfort of withholding truth, because silence has begun to feel heavier than honesty, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. That's the turning point where growth asks for action. Don't scroll, because action doesn't always look loud. Listen to this. Your soulmate is preparing emotionally, not to persuade, not to convince, not to secure an outcome, but to speak from integrity and allow space for mutual choice, and that intention is what makes what's coming feel safe rather than overwhelming, and your heart needs this right now because mutual choice is sacred. Don't scroll, because coercion isn't love. Listen to this. The universe has been clearing emotional clutter around both of you, reducing distractions, simplifying circumstances, creating pockets of stillness where clarity can surface without interruption, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may notice that things in your life that once felt urgent no longer do, that your intuition feels clearer, that your reactions feel calmer, and listen to this. That's not detachment, that's emotional grounding. Don't scroll, because grounding prepares you to receive truth without losing yourself. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been imagining the aftermath of honesty more than the moment itself, picturing how it would feel to live without the weight of unspoken truth, and that imagined relief has become motivating, and your heart needs this right now because relief is often the soul's signal that alignment is near. Don't scroll, because alignment feels lighter. Listen to this. They've also come to terms with the fact that honesty doesn't guarantee outcome, but it guarantees integrity, and integrity has become more important to them than certainty, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Certainty is comforting, but integrity is freeing. Don't scroll, because freedom allows growth. Listen to this. Your soulmate is no longer rehearsing conversations driven by fear of rejection or loss. Instead, they're imagining dialogue guided by curiosity, openness, and respect, and that shift has changed everything internally, and your heart needs this right now because curiosity keeps connection alive. Don't scroll, because assumptions close doors. Listen to this. They've also noticed that their emotional reactions to stress, absence, or uncertainty have stabilized, that they're less reactive and more reflective, and that emotional regulation has made the idea of opening up feel manageable rather than risky, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Emotional stability supports honesty. Don't scroll, because instability distorts it. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that whatever unfolds next should integrate into both of your lives naturally rather than disrupt them, adding depth without chaos, support without dependency, and that understanding has shaped their intention deeply, and your heart needs this right now because integration is maturity. Don't scroll, because maturity lasts. Listen to this. This phase is about commitment to integrity, not to outcome, about choosing to live truthfully even when the future isn't fully defined, and that commitment has quietly solidified, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're not being prepared for a shock, you're being prepared for clarity. Don't scroll, because clarity arrives gently when it's ready to be held. Listen to this. Part 5 is about emotional grounding transforming into readiness for expression, about love settling into something steady and intentional, and about the realization that what's real doesn't demand urgency, but it does ask for truth, and that truth is now standing close, patient, and ready to be shared in a way that honors both hearts without force or fear. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part where quiet certainty replaces every last trace of doubt, and this message is for you in a way that feels steady, intimate, and undeniably real. So stay with me, breathe, don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after everything your soulmate has processed, after the tears, the clarity, the grounding, the responsibility, they have arrived at something that cannot be undone, and listen to this because this message is for you. They have reached commitment, not commitment to an outcome, not to labels, not to guarantees, but commitment to truth, and that distinction has changed everything inside them. Don't scroll, because commitment to truth is the point where souls stop circling and start choosing. Listen to this. Your soulmate is no longer internally debating what they feel. That conversation is over. The noise has gone quiet, replaced by a calm through line that runs through their thoughts, their body, and their intuition. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel this calm too, like the emotional static you once sensed has faded, replaced by something grounded and steady. Don't scroll, because steadiness is alignment. Listen to this. They've noticed that when they imagine speaking honestly to you now, there is no panic, no rehearsed scripts, no tightness in their chest, just a grounded sense that whatever needs to be said can be said simply and respectfully, and your heart needs this right now because simplicity is clarity. Don't scroll, because clarity doesn't shout. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also reflected deeply on the difference between attraction that excites and connection that stabilizes, and they recognize now that what exists between you belongs firmly in the second category, and that realization has made them value this bond in a way they never did before, and your heart needs this right now because stability doesn't dull feeling, it deepens it. Don't scroll, because depth lasts. Listen to this. They're becoming more intentional not just about you, but about how they show up in life as a whole, choosing honesty over convenience, presence over avoidance, integrity over comfort. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You didn't just touch their heart, you reshaped their values. Don't scroll, because that's soul-level impact. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that speaking their truth doesn't mean asking you to change your pace, your boundaries, or your life. It means offering clarity and allowing you full freedom to respond however feels right for you. And that respect has become central to their intention, and your heart needs this right now because respect creates safety. Don't scroll, because safety allows love to breathe. Listen to this. They've stopped feeling the urge to test the connection, to provoke reactions, or to seek reassurance indirectly, because their confidence now comes from self-trust rather than external validation. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Self-trust is liberating. Don't scroll, because liberation attracts honesty. Listen to this. They've made peace with the moments they held back in the past, understanding now that those pauses weren't failures, they were necessary stages of growth, and that compassion toward themselves has softened any remaining self-judgment. And your heart needs this right now because self-compassion opens the door to courage. Don't scroll, because shame blocks truth. Listen to this. Your soulmate has become more attuned to your energy as well, sensing when you are grounded, when you are reflective, when you are simply living your life without expectation, and that autonomy has made them feel safe stepping forward without fear of disrupting your balance. And your heart needs this right now because balance invites equal footing. Don't scroll, because equality sustains connection. Listen to this. The idea of making a move no longer feels like a dramatic turning point to them, but like a natural extension of everything that has already shifted internally, and that reframing has removed pressure entirely, and your heart needs this right now because pressure suffocates truth. Don't scroll, because truth needs space. Listen to this. Your soulmate is aware now that whatever unfolds next will be shaped not just by what they say, but by how they say it, and that awareness has encouraged them to approach with curiosity rather than assumption, with openness rather than expectation, and your heart needs this right now because curiosity keeps doors open. Don't scroll, because assumptions close them. Listen to this. They've reflected on how fear once led them to delay or avoid, and how different it feels now to act from clarity rather than hesitation, and that contrast has reinforced their readiness, and your heart needs this right now because clarity dissolves fear. Don't scroll, because fear cannot survive understanding. Listen to this. They've also embraced that vulnerability doesn't require emotional flooding or overexposure, it requires honesty paired with boundaries, and that understanding has made the idea of opening up feel safe rather than risky, and your heart needs this right now because safe vulnerability builds trust. Don't scroll, because trust sustains truth. Listen to this. Their emotional world feels integrated now, thoughts, feelings, and values moving together rather than competing, and that integration has created a quiet confidence that doesn't need validation, and your heart needs this right now because confidence rooted in self-awareness is powerful. Don't scroll, because power doesn't rush. Listen to this. Your soulmate recognizes that this connection doesn't distract them from their purpose, it complements it, adding depth without derailing direction, and that compatibility has reassured them that what they feel isn't a detour, but an addition, and your heart needs this right now because healthy connection expands life. Don't scroll, because expansion feels good. Listen to this. They've been noticing subtle encouragements around them, conversations about courage, reminders about honesty, moments that highlight the value of speaking up with kindness, and these moments feel timely rather than coincidental, and your heart needs this right now because timing often whispers. Don't scroll, because whispers require listening. Listen to this. They're comfortable now with the idea that nothing needs to be defined immediately, that clarity can unfold through dialogue rather than declaration, and that comfort has reduced any remaining tension, and your heart needs this right now because dialogue invites mutual understanding. Don't scroll, because declarations can overwhelm. Listen to this. Your soulmate is prepared for whatever response comes, not bracing for rejection, not clinging to expectation, but grounded in self-respect and acceptance, and that grounding has removed fear entirely, and your heart needs this right now because self-respect anchors vulnerability. Don't scroll, because anchors keep you steady. Listen to this. They've recognized that this connection has unfolded slowly and organically for a reason, allowing growth to occur before expression so that what emerges now is sustainable rather than fleeting, and your heart needs this right now because sustainability matters. Don't scroll, because fleeting intensity fades. Listen to this. They feel that the internal chapter of reflection and preparation is nearing its natural close, not abruptly, but gently, like a page ready to turn, and your heart needs this right now because pages turn when the moment is right. Don't scroll, because forcing pages tears the story. Listen to this. Part 6 is about commitment to truth without attachment to outcome, about calm courage replacing fear, about readiness rooted in self-awareness rather than fantasy, and about the quiet certainty that when something is real, it doesn't rush, it arrives when both hearts are steady enough to receive it, and that steadiness is here now, fully formed, guiding what comes next with clarity, respect, and intention. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this is the part where everything that has been quietly aligning finally reaches a moment of undeniable truth, and this message is for you in a way that feels calm, grounded, and almost sacred. So stay with me, take a breath, don't scroll, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because what your soulmate has reached now is not confusion, not hesitation, not emotional chaos, but certainty earned through patience, growth, and deep inner work. and listen to this because this message is for you. They are standing at a point where holding the truth inside feels heavier than the vulnerability of letting it be seen, not because they are desperate, not because they fear losing you, but because honesty has become non-negotiable for who they are now. Don't scroll, because this is where alignment turns into expression. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that silence served its purpose, reflection served its purpose, distance served its purpose, but that season has completed, and completion doesn't arrive with fireworks, it arrives with calm resolve, and your heart needs this right now because calm resolve is powerful. Don't scroll, because power doesn't shout. Listen to this. They're no longer questioning what they feel or why they feel it, they understand it, they respect it, and they're ready to honor it with actions that match their growth rather than contradict it, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel this as a quiet shift inside yourself too, a sense that you're no longer bracing for disappointment or clinging to hope, but simply open, grounded, and present. Don't scroll, because presence allows truth to land safely. Listen to this. Your soulmate's inner voice is steady now, no longer debating, no longer bargaining, just calmly saying, you know what matters now. Live accordingly, and that voice has replaced every fear-based narrative they once entertained, and your heart needs this right now because calm certainty is courage in its purest form. Don't scroll, because courage doesn't rush. Listen to this. They know now that this moment isn't about grand gestures or dramatic confessions, it's about presence, about showing up honestly without pressure, about offering truth without expectation, and allowing space for mutual response, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Mutuality is sacred. Don't scroll, because one-sided effort doesn't sustain love. Listen to this. They've reflected on everything that led here, the pauses, the missteps, the distance, the growth, and they see now that none of it was wasted. Every phase refined them, softened them, prepared them to meet you from integrity rather than impulse, and your heart needs this right now because understanding the journey prevents repeating it. Don't scroll, because repetition belongs to unawareness. Listen to this. Your soulmate senses that you are ready to, not waiting, not chasing, but living your life with self-respect and emotional stability, and that awareness makes them feel safe stepping forward without disrupting your balance, and your heart needs this right now because balance invites honesty. Don't scroll, because honesty collapses under imbalance. Listen to this. They understand now that whatever unfolds next doesn't need to define everything immediately, it just needs to be real, and that realization has lifted the pressure to get it right, replacing it with the desire to simply be honest. And your heart needs this right now because real moments don't require perfection. Don't scroll, because perfection blocks authenticity. Listen to this. They've accepted fully that vulnerability doesn't guarantee outcome, but it guarantees integrity, and integrity has become more important to them than certainty or control, and your heart needs this right now because integrity endures even when outcomes change. Don't scroll, because control is fear disguised as safety. Listen to this. They're no longer imagining what could go wrong, they're focusing on how they want to show up, with clarity, respect, and openness, and that focus has simplified everything internally, and your heart needs this right now because simplicity brings peace. Don't scroll, because peace attracts alignment. Listen to this. They've realized that love isn't something to be proven, it's something to be shared honestly and allowed to grow naturally, and that understanding has reshaped their expectations completely. And your heart needs this right now because expectations can suffocate what's meant to unfold. Don't scroll, because unfolding requires space. Listen to this. They feel ready now to speak without rehearsing, to listen without defensiveness.